happy to be here because today is a very historic occasion for all of us at Dow, and I am grateful. Let's walk that way. I am grateful.
You're extremely pleased to be here.
I'm extremely pleased to be here. Yes, extremely pleased to be here, Steve.
Voici mon ami Andy. Moi, je m'appelle Mike. Aujourd'hui, c'est moi qui tiens la caméra. Andy s'apprête à parler en direct à la télévision, devant 300 millions de téléspectateurs, et se faire passer pour le représentant de l'une des plus grandes entreprises du monde. Cela explique son air légèrement tendu.
Should I typically just look right into the camera? Okay.
Andy va dire un très gros mensonge, qui malheureusement va faire baisser de 2 milliards de dollars la valeur consolidée d'une société. Mais avant de vous raconter cette histoire, je vais vous expliquer comment on en est arrivé là.
Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. You better chase all your cares away. Shout hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day. The sun is shining, come on, get happy. The Lord is waiting to take your hand. Shout hallelujah, come on, get happy. We're going to the promised land. We're heading across the river. Wash your sins away in the tide. It's awesome.
Hi. My name's Mike.
I'm Andy. And this is a movie in which the two of us
Fix the world.
Aren't we fixing the world?
Yes. I'm scared.
Get ready for the judgment day.
Now what?
Notre truc, c'est de nous faire passer pour les porte-paroles de grandes sociétés que nous n'aimons pas. On crée de faux sites web et on attend d'être invité à s'exprimer dans une conférence.
My name is Fred. I'm from Halliburton. My name is Hannaford Schmidt. I'm with the World Trade Organization. I'm from Arizona.
My name is Francisco Guerrero. Overloo Hawkmax.
Hundreds of oil and gas executives were duped today.
Louisiana officials are taken for a ride by the Yes Men.
The Yes Men?
The Yes Men, anti-globalization activists that travel the world pulling pranks at corporate events.
A bunch of lefty protesters.
World-renowned troublemakers.
Sick, twisted, cruel.
And what they do is really to take absurd ideas and they present these ideas in all seriousness.
The group has done this many times before. They have a track record of getting away with it. So, how did this happen? Equity International says the imposter showed up this morning.
Pendant ce temps, dans notre quartier général, nous commençons à préparer notre prochaine mission.
Tens of thousands of Iraqis have died.
Worries are growing among top government and business leaders about the surge of food riots.
The markets continue to shake. Unemployment is up.
The oil companies reported the highest profits in the history of the world.
Tant de choses vont mal. Par quoi commencer? La réponse, on l'a reçue par un message spécial. Dow Chemical vient d'acheter Union Carbide, devenu tristement célèbre dans les années 80. Les années 80, rappelez-vous, Challenger, Tchernobyl, Bhopal. Bhopal? En 1984, une explosion se produit à l'usine de pesticides de Union Carbide. Au moins 5000 personnes meurent en quelques semaines, victimes de la plus grosse catastrophe industrielle de l'histoire.
I just want to say to shareholders of Union Carbide that I am confident that the victims can be fairly and equitably compensated without a material adverse effect on the financial condition of Union Carbide Corporation.
En effet, les actionnaires n'auront pas eu à se plaindre. Mais sur place, à Bhopal, 100 000 personnes sont malades à vie. L'annonce de l'acquisition par Dow Chemical a fait renaître l'espoir. L'entreprise a déclaré vouloir dédommager les victimes de la négligence passée de Union Carbide et a aussitôt versé plus de 2 milliards de dollars à 14 malades de l'amiante au Texas. Les victimes de la catastrophe de Bhopal ont touché moins de 1 000 dollars chacune. Dow pouvait parfaitement les dédommager elle aussi. Sachant qu'elle n'en ferait rien, on a décidé de prendre les devants. On a créé un faux site web, dowethics.com, et on a attendu. Et puis un beau jour, la chance nous a souri.
You have mail.
On nous invite à une conférence sur la finance internationale. Quelques-unes des plus grandes banques du monde seront présentes. Celles-là même qui permettent à Union Carbide et à Dow Chemical de se comporter comme elles le font. Que je vous explique. Une entreprise dit à une banque « On va construire une usine défectueuse dans un pays sous-développé corrompu. Il se peut que l'usine explose et que des gens meurent, mais nous, on va se remplir les poches. » Ce à quoi la banque répond « Génial, voilà une bonne idée. » Comment montrer aux banquiers ce qui cloche dans leur logique?
So right now I'm painting Gilda, the gilded skeleton, actually the golden skeleton that we're going to use in the Dow Chemical lecture in London at a financial services conference in just a few short days.
The only good skeleton is a gold skeleton.
Comme toujours, on a un budget très serré.
We rented a theatrical pyrotechnics unit here so that we can make a big puff of smoke.
We're on our way to a conference, and Erastus Ham is going to be speaking at the conference as Dow Chemical Company. Why? Just apparently.
Notre plan est d'obliger Dow Chemical à expliquer exactement, pour la première fois, comment se calcule la valeur pécuniaire d'une vie humaine.
Thank you very much. On May 1st, we are releasing the beta version of Acceptable Risk, the world's first market-smart risk calculator to help you find out instantly what risks are or are not acceptable from a bottom-line business perspective. Will Project X be just another skeleton in the closet, something your company comes to regret, or will it be a golden skeleton? A complex case is IBM's sale of technology to World War II Germany for use in identifying certain populations. This was very bad, of course, but no one can deny they were profitable, and although the issue remains a skeleton in the closet, in retrospect, it is quite clearly golden. Because if there's one thing that we at Dow want you to remember today, it's that the only good skeleton is a gold skeleton. Ooh! Surprise. This is Gilda. She's the mascot for the Dow Acceptable Risk Program. Gilda is here to basically tell you that if you have a skeleton in the closet, it may not be just a skeleton. It could very well be a golden skeleton as well. And as you move into a future of ever-increasing complexity and ever-increasing opportunities, Dow Acceptable Risk can assure you that your touch will be the Midas one. Now, you may have heard the joke. How many Americans does it take to screw in a light bulb? 12. 1 to climb the ladder and 11 to file the lawsuit. What about Indians? Oh, just 1. We would, of course, never wish to imply that an Indian life is worth more or less than another. I myself believe in the sanctity of all life. But the market has its own logic, and if we're willing to live with it, we must make the most of the choices it makes. And I'd like to finish with a little poem. I'd rather be handsome than homely. I'd rather be youthful than old. If I can't have a bushel of silver, I'll do with a barrel of gold. So thank you very much. We hope you come up and get a closer look.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you for having us. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Here's a keychain. Thank you very much. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have a card anymore. I've ran out of them. So.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, you were one of the earlier speakers. Thanks.
Yes, so that's a pleasure.
Thank you
it's
very much.
Definitely very interesting. Is it applicable? Is your model applicable to anything? I mean, is it applicable? Can we use it in risk management?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I'll have our risk management guys take a look at it because we do a lot of interesting things. So
wonderful. Oh, this is interesting. So,
thanks a lot.
Thank you. Okay, take care.
Yes, hello.
Hello, sorry.
What your case was, I want to introduce a new product on the market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you, as I understood it, is that your risk assessor will work out what is the human
That's right.
impact threat to humans, as opposed to the how much money can you make us. Whichever way you do this, you're going to cost some lives, right?
But
if you're going to make some money in the process of it, then it's acceptable. Is that right?
You will. That's pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I mean, it's. Did you find that not?
No, I thought it was refreshing. Actually.
Okay.
Rafraîchissant? Le but du jeu, c'était de choquer, pas de plaire. Pour nous, ce discours est aussi rafraîchissant que le jus de fruits servi aux suicidés de Johnstown.
The mass suicide and murder of more than 900 Americans took cyanide-laced fruit punch from their spiritual father and then lay down to die.
C'est ça le hic avec les sectes. Ce qui est choquant à l'extérieur est considéré comme normal par les intéressés. Est-ce ce mécanisme qui explique que les banquiers trouvent totalement légitime la cupidité et la dérégulation? En tout cas, ces messieurs aussi ont un guide spirituel. Milton Friedman, l'économiste le plus influent de la planète.
Did government play a role in this? Very little. Only by keeping the road clear for human greed and self-interest to promote the welfare of the consumer.
Dans ce livre, Friedman utilise le mot liberté 374 fois. Par liberté, il n'entend pas ceci, mais cela. La liberté pour les entreprises de faire des profits, sans se préoccuper des autres et sans que l'État mette son nez dans leurs affaires.
Dr. Milton Friedman, a scientist, a careful thinker, and a great teacher.
The hero of freedom, Milton Friedman.
I sought out Dr. Friedman and had the great pleasure and privilege of meeting him and his economist wife, Rose. And we've all become friends, and now I call him Milton.
Pour comprendre la mentalité des banquiers, il fallait rencontrer leur gourou. Seul petit problème,
Okay, so we should go in there.
Yeah.
Oh, great, thank you.
Friedman ayant gagné en hauteur, ses disciples ont repris le flambeau.
Uncle Milty, I call him.
Ces gens appartiennent à des groupes de réflexion sur l'économie de marché. Ils dépensent les milliards de dollars que leur versent les entreprises pour nous convaincre que le laisser-faire est la clé de la réussite.
We're kind of on a quest. We want to fix the world, and we want to know how to do it.
Private property, rule of law, and a market unrestricted by government regulation and control.
When we see companies demonized, we should work against that. When we see the free market system castigated, we must work against that.
More wealth leads to greater efficiency and greater innovation, and basically all good things.
Wealth, money.
Privatization.
Wealth, money.
Individualist freedom.
Privatization.
Free markets.
Ownership.
And a great deal of money.
Capitalism and freedom.
Wealth and prosperity.
le message commence à passer. Pour nous et des millions de gens comme nous, ces types prêchent la bonne parole de Friedman par tous les moyens possibles. Intervention au Congrès, vidéo virale, talk show du dimanche matin. Ils se félicitent d'avoir fait capoter le protocole de Kyoto et contribuer à la déréglementation des secteurs du logement, de la banque, de l'énergie et de l'environnement. Ils acceptent de rencontrer quiconque tient une caméra. Même nous, c'est dire.
You see there's a blue screen behind you. What would you like to be put in front of?
A planet Earth. Oh, cool. A blue screen.
I'd say the Jefferson Monument.
How about Jefferson Memorial? It's more...
It's already taken.
Oh, it is taken.
Somebody asked for that already.
I'm sure you have a good backdrop of Washington.
Don't put me in front of anything in Washington. I hate Washington.
Put up a scene in outer space or something.
I would say a world in which man is treated as an end in himself rather than a tool to be manipulated by those with political power.
How can we represent that? Is there a single image or a series of images?
I think that the images are of men, just the prosperity of free men following what their hearts and desires lead them to.
I think we can find that. Sounds good.
Maintenant que nos amis sont confortablement installés, passons aux choses sérieuses.
What would you say to people who harp on the Bhopal catastrophe or other tragedies?
Bhopal is an interesting example, but that facility had created educational opportunities for an Indian emerging technocratic class. It had created value added and tax base for the community, and something like 3,000 people died. That's a tragedy, but there are always risks of going into the future.
L'avenir comporte toujours des risques. Pour les milliers de victimes de Bhopal, il n'y a plus d'avenir. Si les suicidés de Jonestown ne s'en sont pris qu'à eux, les adeptes de l'économie de marché semblent prêts à mettre les autres en danger. De retour à notre QG. On a reçu un mail. Décidément, notre site Dow Ethics ne nous réserve que des bonnes surprises. Cette fois, il ne s'agit pas d'une simple conférence, on a touché le jackpot. La BBC, probablement la chaîne d'information la plus respectée au monde, prépare une grande émission sur Bhopal et souhaite savoir si Dow Chemical était enfin disposé à régler le passé. L'interview sera vue par 300 millions de téléspectateurs. On ne peut rêver mieux. La BBC apprend donc, à sa grande surprise, que Dow serait ravi de parler publiquement de la catastrophe. 300 millions de téléspectateurs. 1 million de fois plus que notre public habituel. Légèrement paniqué, on a demandé à la chaîne si au lieu d'aller à son QG de Londres, on ne pouvait pas plutôt se rencontrer en terrain neutre, au pays de la Révolution.
Are you a little nervous? I'm so nervous. Oh, God. It's like going to the guillotine. I think it's right near where they used to have the guillotine, too, in Paris. The office. Yeah, I think it's the biggest thing we've ever done. This. I haven't combed my hair in like 20 years, yeah, really. Like, I think I used to do it this way. All right. Oh, God. Oh, God. When we acquired Union Carbide 3 years ago, we knew what we were getting, and today we are prepared to do the obvious. Let's see. Don't film too much when we get there, I think. Hi. Bonjour. Great.
The world's worst industrial accident is being remembered in India today. It's 20 years since deadly gas leaked from the Union Carbide chemical plant in the city of Bhopal. At least 18,000
1,000 deaths are attributed to the leak, and many local people say the contamination has never been properly cleared up.
Yeah. Should I typically just look right into the camera? Okay.
The factory still exists here, and that's been a real problem for the people living here locally. I mean, the site, I've been to it, and it's full of toxic waste. People who are living in these houses, they've all got a story to tell about that day 20 years ago. Many of them lost members of their family, and they say that they're continuing to suffer because of the tragedy. And they're saying somebody needs to answer for this. Legally, what they're saying is that they want to pursue the company to try and clean up the site, but whether the company will accept liability seems doubtful.
Well, joining us live from Paris now is Jude Finisterra. He's a spokesman for Dow Chemicals, which took over Union Carbide. Good morning to you. A day of commemoration in Bhopal. Do you now accept responsibility for what happened?
Steve, yes. Today is a great day for all of us at Dow, and I think for millions of people around the world as well. It's 20 years since the disaster, and today I'm very, very happy to announce that for the first time Dow is accepting full responsibility for the Bhopal catastrophe. We have a $12 billion plan to finally, at long last, fully compensate the victims, including the 120,000 who may need medical care for their entire lives, and to fully and swiftly remediate the Bhopal plant site. Now, when we acquired Union Carbide 3 years ago, we knew what we were getting, and it's worth $12 billion. $12 billion. We have resolved to liquidate Union Carbide, this nightmare for the world and this headache for Dow, and use the $12 billion to adequately compensate the victims.
Jude, that's good news that you have finally accepted responsibility. Some people would say too late. It's 3 years, yes. Almost 4 years on.
When we acquired Union Carbide, we did settle their liabilities in the United States immediately. And we are now, 3 years later, prepared to do the same in India. We should have done it 3 years ago. We are doing it now. And I would also like to say that this is no small matter, Steve. This is the first time in history that a publicly owned company of anything near the size of Dow has performed an action which is significantly against its bottom line simply because it's the right thing to do. And our shareholders may take a bit of a hit, Steve, but I think that if they're anything like me, they will be ecstatic to be part of such a historic occasion of doing right by those that we've wronged.
Just to reiterate what Jude Finisterra, the spokesman for Dow Chemicals, has just said, he says Dow Chemicals now
Fully accept responsibility for the events in Bhopal.
Great. That's it?
Well done.
Great. Now they wanted
Now you do
radio. I can tell you one thing. We're not going out of business. We will continue to make profit. We will simply make slightly less profit than normal. But we are doing the right thing. We're comparing here, though, the value of money to the value of human life, and there is no comparison.
It's a good thing to announce. For once, it's good news.
Exactly. I mean, how often does Dow get to, you know? I wouldn't want to be a Dow spokesperson otherwise. Good. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to have a serious nervous breakdown now.
Dow accepts responsibility for Bhopal, spokesman.
Where is that?
In Reuters.
Congratulations. Your appearance. Everyone here at BBC cheered. It's over now and it's still headline news. Hello, this is Jude. Who has said that? Perhaps they're not in communication with the Dow leadership. Hello? Yes, this is Jude Finisterra. Sure. Right. Sure. Right. Let me just... yes, could I ask you to hold for a moment? Okay, thank you. They know. So now, I guess, I just basically come clean, right? Well, I wouldn't say it's a hoax. It's an honest representation of what Dow should be doing.
This morning, a false statement was carried by BBC World regarding responsibility for the Bhopal tragedy. The individual who made this statement identified himself as a Dow spokesperson named Jude Finestra. Dow confirms that there was no basis whatsoever for this report.
Well, earlier today, we carried an interview with someone purporting to be from Dow Chemical, a company which subsequently bought the plant from Union Carbide. This interview was inaccurate and part of an elaborate deception.
Take a look at this, Dow. Look at this. This is the top of Google News. Dow said on Friday there was no basis whatsoever in a BBC World report saying it had accepted responsibility for India's Bhopal disaster. That's a funny sentence.
The hoax was an elaborate one involving a fake website. Dow Chemicals was quick to issue a series of statements denying all knowledge of Jude Finisterra.
Also tonight, backtracking because of this man.
We're going back to the BBC television studio right now that we were at this morning because they want to talk to us. Thought, well, okay, what do they want to know? Well, let's go see.
So your real name is Andy, right?
Yeah. Hello.
When did I don't know.
Sorry.
When did it occur to you to pull this off?
It didn't occur to us at all. We got contacted by you guys.
You also have the Dow share price.
Yeah, I did hear that. Has it
0.5%
gone back up? Or?
Well, the prank, which briefly knocked 3% off Dow shares, comes 20 years to the day after the chemical leak from the Union Carbide plant in Bhopal.
Today's unlikely corporate humiliation of a US chemical giant was all about reminding the world that Bhopal remains an unhealed sore.
Well, earlier I spoke to Andy Bickelbaum and I asked him what he did when he got an email from the BBC asking him for an interview.
Essentially, Dow has been promulgating a hoax by which they've convinced people that they can't do anything about Bhopal, that they cannot accept responsibility. And we wanted to prove that that was not accurate.
I mean, it is nevertheless a pretty cruel trick to play on the people of Bhopal. Today you spring upon them the actual hoax that they actually suddenly believe that they have got a payout from Dow and then, you know, an hour or two later they find it's untrue.
Let's put this in contrast. I mean, we may have given two people 2 hours of false hope. Dow has given them 20 years of suffering. I mean, this is what we're faced
expecting
with.
the next knock at the door to be Dow's lawyer?
No idea what Dow will do.
Les avocats de la compagnie n'ont pas bronché. Et notre petit numéro a permis à des millions de gens de découvrir qu'en 20 ans, Bhopal n'avait jamais été dépollué. Mais les médias ont également annoncé que beaucoup de victimes avaient pleuré de joie en apprenant la nouvelle, avant d'être amèrement déçus. Avons-nous vraiment blessé ceux-là même que nous souhaitons aider? Il n'y avait qu'un seul moyen de le savoir.
Here we are, we're in India. Hey! And this is Bhopal. Bhopal is a big city. There's over 1 million people here. Unfortunately, we heard from a lot of news reports that the victims here in Bhopal were extremely upset because we had raised false hopes about them actually getting some compensation after 21 years. What do you think they'll do?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what's the local custom here? I mean...
We're here at the Sambhavna Clinic, and this place was set up by a bunch of people to help treat the gas victims of the worst industrial accident in history.
So patients come in from here. This is a forum, basically, where we
determine their history of gas exposure, how far they were living, or were they sleeping in a tent that night, and then their severity grade is determined. These are some of the disabled children, and every system of the body has been affected. You know, the musculoskeleton, the nervous system. 40% of the women coming here under 40 have menopause. Yeah.
Oh.
This is so cute.
Hey, oh my God.
Hey. We got the news that Dow is willing to pay $12 billion. I mean, first we felt the news was too good to be true. And Dow was too bad for the news to be true.
Yeah.
But still, we thought maybe it is true. Maybe they've just seen sense in this.
Yeah.
I mean, for about an hour, we were under that impression.
Yeah. Did people cry with joy?
Yeah. I cried.
Oh, no.
I know, lots of people cried.
Were you kind of angry at first, though, when you heard it was a hoax?
No, I wasn't angry. No.
Wow. You think it was worth it?
Totally worth it.
Okay. I think we're in Shivaji Nagar, and it's been a little bit of a maze getting here. A little, what do you call that?
We got lost. That's what it's called. We're trying to meet up with a journalist to interview him. We got lost.
Here he is. Oh my God. Okay.
Rajkumar Keswani a tiré la sonnette d'alarme des années avant que la catastrophe ne se produise.
So you had already predicted how many times that the disaster would happen before it happened?
In newspapers, 4 times. Once to the chief minister, dozens of times to the local legislators, and once to the Supreme Court. But unfortunately, I failed.
When you heard it was a hoax, the thing that we did, were you like, what did you think of it at first?
I thought that was a wonderful thing to do. We were put into a situation which we never thought of that would actually happen. So it is just like being in the heaven. Because I'm sure I'm not going to be in the heaven. So if I'm expecting hell, and suddenly someone puts me for a while in the heaven, so I said, okay, thanks.
20 ans après l'explosion, les déchets toxiques sur place continuent encore de polluer les nappes phréatiques.
Communities that you see in red have not gotten a single drop of clean water.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Until now?
Until now. 8 communities are getting about 12% of the requirement. But this is contaminated water. Some of them used to drink, cook, wash clothes.
Dow Chemical aurait pu nettoyer le site, mais elle ne l'a pas fait. Au lieu de ça, elle a préféré dépenser des dizaines de millions de dollars dans une campagne publicitaire destinée à laver son image de marque.
For each of us, there's a moment of discovery. And just then, in the flash of a synapse, we learn that life is elemental. And in the dazzling brilliance of this knowledge, we may overlook the element not listed on the chart. Its importance so obvious, its presence is simply understood. The missing element is the human element. And when we add it to the equation, the chemistry changes. The human element is the element of change. The human element. Nothing is more fundamental. Nothing more elemental.
Voici Kevin Finn. Il vend et achète des titres.
This is what I do, sit here and just look at this screen for, 12 and 14 hours a day. It's very romantic, actually.
Parmi nos connaissances, Kevin semble le mieux placé pour expliquer pourquoi Dow ne dépolluera jamais le site. Voici ce qui est arrivé juste après le passage d'Andy à la BBC.
I got a call from my clerk in the middle of the night. The Dow Chemical made some announcement that the stockholders of Dow Chemical didn't like because Dow stock went down. The S&P 500 futures went down. You know, I had to go roll out of bed. My clerk's like freaking out because my position's going against me. My friend tells me he thinks it's, you know, some global conspiracy of traders to try to screw us. And, you know, it finds out it's two jokers.
Notre scoop télévisuel a eu pour effet de provoquer, en 23 minutes, une baisse de plus de 2 milliards de dollars de la valeur de Dow Chemical.
This tells me all the news that's happening in the world. So on December 3rd, if I was sitting here watching this, it would say, you know, Dow Chemical decides to settle with the Bhopal people. And then people that own Dow Chemical be like, sold!
Everybody we talked to about that was really happy that Dow was doing the right thing. Like,
Sure, okay. I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be. I'm just saying that, sure, it seems like a good thing, unless I guess you're a Dow Chemical stockholder and you're expecting the $20 billion to go towards a dividend to come back to you or to come to buy some new chemical plant, and it's going to these people that, at least at this point, aren't able to get any money. I mean, I would see, you could see how they could be upset about that, right?
On était perplexes. Petit, on nous a appris à ne pas faire le mal. Et quand on était gentil, on recevait une récompense. Et voilà que Dow, enfin prêt à payer, se fait taper sur les doigts. Comment, dans ces conditions, inciter les entreprises à bien se comporter? Il faudrait changer les règles du marché, c'est-à-dire le réguler. Or, qui dit régulation dit interventionnisme. Et là, rien ne va plus, puisque l'État lui-même se délecte des paroles empoisonnées de Milton Friedman.
Free markets are working miracle after miracle of economic growth.
Open markets and rule-based trade are the best engines we know of.
But when the government stepped back and let the free enterprise system do its work, then the better we did, the more robust our economy grew, the better I did, and the better my business grew.
Ces 30 dernières années, les dirigeants des pays les plus puissants de la planète ont suivi les recommandations, toutes simples, des groupies de l'économie de marché.
The solution is not to have government to intervene or regulate in some way.
In fact, most problems will solve themselves if ignored, and let free people working in free markets address them.
Partout dans le monde, les gouvernements se sont débarrassés de régulations destinées à nous protéger, vous et moi. Dans le secteur bancaire, par exemple.
I'm confident that the degree of harm or spillover effect, whatever subprime mortgages go bad, that the market will devise ways to minimize and diffuse the negative effects.
Leur foi dans l'économie de marché est inébranlable. Et nous savons tous ce que ça a donné.
Now with the world's largest insurance company, AIG, on the brink of collapse, it could mean devastation way beyond Wall Street.
Ils se moquent des catastrophes annoncées.
Global warming is silly. It's not a serious issue. Warmer is healthier, and warmer is more pleasant, and that's why states like Arizona keep gaining population rapidly.
Well, there are benefits to global warming. Cold-related deaths will actually decrease considerably.
Comme dans l'affaire des subprimes, ces exaltés font tout pour empêcher l'État d'intervenir. Sauf que là, les enjeux sont plus importants.
I think it's quite possible that if it weren't for groups like ours, that the United States might very well be in the Kyoto Protocol by now.
And if you've seen the ads that we ran about a year ago, which we produced in-house on this global warming, where our essential contention is carbon dioxide, they call it pollution, we call it life.
There's something in these pictures you can't see. It's what we breathe out and plants breathe in. Carbon dioxide. They call it pollution. We call it life.
We got lots of hate mail. 2 senators this past fall sent a letter to ExxonMobil calling on it to stop funding CEI.
Exxon paye donc des groupes de réflexion pour nous dire qu'il ne faut pas mettre des bâtons dans les roues d'Exxon. Face au tollé général, l'entreprise a dû changer son fusil d'épaule.
In fact, ExxonMobil
didn't fund us at all this past year.
Génial. Sauf qu'Exxon a d'autres moyens d'influencer la politique économique. Prenez ce type, Lee Raymond. Il est actuellement administrateur de l'un des principaux groupes de réflexion sur l'économie de marché. Il a aussi été le patron d'Exxon et juste après, le conseiller officiel à l'énergie du gouvernement américain. Ça fait peur. Laissez ces gens continuer à diriger le monde et il n'y aura bientôt plus rien à diriger. Pour les empêcher de sévir, on a élaboré un plan. On a fait inviter Lee Raymond à une grande conférence sur le pétrole au Canada. L'homme, qui naturellement n'était au courant de rien, a eu un empêchement. Un assistant l'a remplacé au pied levé.
Yep. This keynote speech will attract substantial media coverage and will be one of the major highlights of Go Expo.
Que va bien pouvoir faire l'assistant de Lee Raymond? Il faudra que ce soit encore plus marquant que tout ce qu'on a tenté jusqu'à présent.
If there's one thing that's going to be abundant in the world to come, what with climate change and all that, it's people, dead people. This is a pilot program to use that fuel. It's called Vivolium, and here we are, making Vivolium.
Exxon va annoncer la mise au point d'un nouveau produit inédit à l'image d'une figure emblématique. Reggie, un de leurs agents d'entretien à l'article de la mort.
I think I'd like to be a candle. I think a candle would be fun because there's just so many uses for a candle.
So it started out, we made one Reggie, and then we cast a bunch of Reggies in wax.
They had me test a Hellfire missile once. That was pretty cool.
There are 6 billion people on this earth today. We're probably using the energies, maybe, of 1 billion of those at best.
That's human hair right there.
This is a lot of experimenting to figure out how to make a candle smell like human flesh.
Ow!
I lost a Reggie.
Quick! Ow!
We simply haven't found the miracle fuel yet to replace petroleum, but we'll eventually get there if government gets out of the way.
Nous venons de le trouver, son carburant miracle. Mais c'est d'un tel mauvais goût que nos ancêtres doivent se retourner dans leur tombe.
Oh. You'll be here with us. You'll be here with us.
Yeah, I know.
CTV News with Barb Higgins and Daryl Chance.
Good evening. A bizarre situation today at the Go Expo Energy Conference at Stampede Park.
Organizers and hundreds of Alberta oil and gas executives got duped.
They'd been promised a major announcement from a major player in the energy industry. Attendees paid $50 a head to hear this speech from the National Petroleum Council, a group that advises the White House on oil and gas matters.
We thought, well, this is just too great an opportunity.
Usually the imposters escape before people realize the hoax.
We wanted absolutely not for people to just walk away thinking they had seen a normal speech, the way it usually happens.
Welcome to Go Expo's keynote luncheon. Please welcome S.K. Wolf.
First, I need to say how wonderful it is to see on all the faces here today the childlike exuberance of a great industry in full flower. And why not? Without oil, at least 4 billion people would starve, and starving would become the new black. But I'm not here today to pat us all on the back. I'm here to speak of Plan Bs.
Tandis qu'Andy expose dans les grandes lignes la solution d'Exxon pour lutter contre les changements climatiques, 10 volontaires distribuent 300 bougies en chair humaine. De quoi réaliser une petite veillée unique en son genre.
Who first had the idea to use the oil of a recently living animal to light his or her house? Even today, Shetland Islanders cut the heads off their puffins and put wicks in the stumps to make candles. We at Exxon firmly believe that a free market will, if left to its own devices, always find solutions to the dilemmas that humanity faces. We're calling our new technology Vivolium.
Pendant qu'Andy décrit le nouveau biocarburant d'Exxon, les bougies sont allumées, emplissant la salle d'une odeur étrange.
What you see here is an artist's rendition of an advanced large-scale plant. The Vivolium feedstock is renewable and unprecious and responds to the need of a shrinking market with greater supply. The dance of capital appears in full flower.
Le moment est venu de présenter Reggie Watts, l'agent d'entretien de chez Exxon qui s'est porté volontaire pour être transformé en énergie.
And now we begin the tribute video to Reggie Watts.
Worked in maintenance for a while. Moved up to maintenance 2, started doing cleanup, toxic spill cleanup.
After I heard from the doctor that I was going to die, I felt like I had something to live for.
Can you switch this off? Please switch it off.
I think I'd like to be a candle. There's just so many uses for a candle. I mean, you know, like if you want something romantic, like that'd be nice to know. I was a candle on table, you know, when people, when they first met each other on a date. I think that would be great. I'd love that. That'd be a hoot.
This is a funerary observance. I mean, this guy died.
Switch this off before
this man died.
It's people. Really is.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
I'm very sorry, but we've been cut off. Apparently, we're not allowed to have a funerary observance for a man who's died to make a product possible. And I'm being... are you allowed to do that to me? What?
Here. Come on, let's go.
Reggie Watts was an ExxonMobil employee, and these are actually 30 or 40% from his actual.
So this time it was
80%, I'm sorry.
The remaining 20 is from what?
The remaining 20 is just, you know, bonders to keep it together. We have to think in such a case.
What are your credentials with ExxonMobil? What is it? Sorry? What part of his body is it?
Sure.
So he's not with Exxon, not with National Petroleum, nothing?
Boy, oh boy. Maybe they're screening them guys a lot better before they let them out.
Now, thank you.
Hey.
Shut it down.
Don't touch my camera.
Shut it down. Now.
A-t-on fait réfléchir les gens du secteur pétrolier à ce qu'ils font? Difficile à dire. Et on n'a pas vraiment le temps de se pencher sur la question. Car comme on le sait tous, la planète est en danger.
This house right here, it used to be on this side. Yeah, it was over here. We moved over there. You know, I could only take it like 2 or 3 days a week coming down here to work. And this year for hunting season, I mean, I didn't kill nothing. I just wasn't in the mood to kill. And after seeing everything else that was dead, just wasn't in the mood. I mean, you know, not that I'm a big killer, but I like killing stuff.
Yeah.
It's really just amazing when you go downriver. Some of the ponds that we used to fish in are now almost like a bay.
Pendant des décennies, les responsables politiques ont ignoré les mises en garde des scientifiques et laissé les industries saccager les zones humides qui protégeaient la Nouvelle-Orléans des tempêtes.
About 1 million acres of land has disappeared since 1930. It was done canal by canal, oil field by oil field, port by port, parcel by parcel. It was, if you will, death by 1,000 cuts. The governing mindset culturally and legally was if there's an impact, we'll deal with it later. And in some ways, it's, you know, this is a preview of what the rest of this country and the rest of the world have in store for them.
Avec la destruction des zones humides, les digues n'avaient aucune chance de tenir. La véritable responsable de la destruction de la Nouvelle-Orléans est donc la cupidité, déguisée sous les traits du progrès.
What produced this tremendous improvement in technology? It was self-interest, or if you prefer, greed. The greed of producers who wanted to produce something that they can make $1 on.
La cupidité a provoqué la plus grande catastrophe que les États-Unis aient jamais connue. Et aujourd'hui, l'État laisse l'appât du gain résoudre les problèmes, en distribuant à des entreprises privées les milliards de dollars destinés à la reconstruction.
There has been this idea that it is government's responsibility to replan the construction of New Orleans. It's better to leave it to the market.
On a voulu savoir comment le marché réhabilitait la côte du Golfe.
We're on our way to the Gulf Coast Reconstruction Conference at the Washington Convention Center. We're going to talk to a number of people who are busy reconstructing New Orleans.
Yeah, what's up?
There are many silver linings to this horrendous disaster, and with it has come an incredible opportunity.
I'm optimistic when I see a room full of folks who want to take advantage of the opportunities, and that's a good thing from our perspective. It's a great thing.
We do proton exchange membrane fuel cell systems.
This is for bomb detonation.
This particular unit can be used in military applications.
Wow, so it's a real catastrophe toilet, basically.
Ces équipements seraient sans doute très utiles aux habitants de la Nouvelle-Orléans en temps de guerre. Mais où sont les initiatives pour la reconstruction? Ah, ici, au pavillon de l'Asie centrale.
Kyrgyz people are ready to help the people of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama by erecting yurts there for them as a temporary shelter.
And here's the yurt.
Oh my God.
This is it. You can cover it up, you can build a fire, you can open it up, and if there's a flood, you can just take it up in less than an hour. They're interested in sending one free of charge to Louisiana as a test, if you're interested. So, yep.
La yourte est la seule solution proposée ici pour aider la population. Mais les représentants du gouvernement ne semblent pas très intéressés. La yourte n'est pas très lucrative. On s'est dit qu'on allait faire mieux que tout le monde à ce congrès. On va créer le dernier cri en matière de lutte contre les catastrophes. Une invention tellement sophistiquée qu'elle protégera n'importe qui de n'importe quoi. Mais son prix exorbitant ne la rendra accessible qu'aux plus riches. Toute la question est de savoir quelle entreprise pourrait fabriquer un tel produit.
You've got to think Halliburton.
For they are the ones who do the research to make the mud, to build the tool, to run in the well, to make the test, to log the zone, to set the packer, cement the pipe and fire the gun, to perforate, to pump the gel that carries the sand, that props the frac, completes the well to produce the crude that runs the world for all the people all over the earth who live in the house that oil built.
Find the big red, find the big red, find the big red, hustling on.
Halliburton, numéro 1 mondial pour tirer profit de tous les types de crises. Elle a gagné des milliards grâce à la guerre du Golfe première et deuxième édition, et des centaines de millions grâce à Katrina. Le tout payé par un État dont le vice-président, Dick Cheney, n'était autre que l'ancien directeur d'Halliburton. S'il est une entreprise capable de tirer parti d'une catastrophe planétaire, c'est bien Halliburton.
This morning, we got up really early, drove up to the very fancy hotel which shall remain nameless because they threatened us if we use the material with their name. But you know, what's it called basically, the hotel?
Ritz-Carlton.
Ritz-Carlton, that one. I'm Northrop Goody. I'm here with Halliburton, with Fred Wolf. We're just helping demo a product. So. Would either one of you mind helping us demo the suits? We have 3 of them. So you have to actually step into it, pull it on. It's kind of like a coverall. You'll wear it?
I'll wear it.
All right, great. You're a good sport. You're a really good sport.
La conférence sur les pertes liées aux catastrophes s'adresse aux assureurs, des gens qui connaissent les chiffres. On leur a donc concocté une petite équation très simple. Avec Gilda, on a fait dans le cynisme pur. Avec Reggie, dans le très mauvais goût. Là, on va donner dans le carrément ridicule.
We really appreciate being invited to speak on this panel. A lot of you work with the insurance industry, of course. Insurance has become extremely worried about some grave new dangers to people that we're seeing in the world around us today. And I'm, of course, talking about climate change and the disasters that it brings. But I can personally guarantee you that level heads will always be able to turn lemons into lemonade. Consider the Black Plague. This was an unspeakably rotten event, of course, in which 1/3 of Europe's population died in great agony. No one, of course, would wish such a thing on any civilization. Yet without it, without the Black Plague, the old business models of Europe would never have been overturned by the entrepreneurs of the Renaissance. And what would the world be without the Mona Lisa? Or, closer to home, how about the Great Deluge? This world-ending disaster, literally, was surely seen as a terrible catastrophe by Noah's contemporaries and perhaps by Noah himself. Yet Noah was ready to seize the day, and at the end of that day, not only was there a whole new world, but Noah found himself with a monopoly of the animals. For those of us in positions of responsibility, however, who might have to take charge in a crisis, even more innovative solutions are necessary. I'd like now to introduce my colleague here, Dr. Northrop Goody, who's the head of our Emergency Products Development Unit at Halliburton. And Dr. Goody will be showing some mock-ups of some items that his unit has developed.
We want something that's going to be able to save a human being no matter what Mother Nature throws at him. And so this is the answer. This is the Halliburton Survivaball. It's 3 easy steps for deployment: suiting up, inflating, and of course, launching. Launching out of a building, and we have an artist's rendition of what it might be like in Houston when we launch our Survivaballs. In the event of extreme catastrophe, there might be a scarcity of resources. In this case, we've got a Survivaball here that's going up and extracting resources, in this case from an animal. And you don't want to be exposed to the elements, but you still want to be able to extract resources from, for example, a cow. They're going to be able to go underwater, rated at 50 feet. They can be used in any condition. It doesn't matter whether you're in a landslide in California or even in the Arctic. Of course, any other conditions, whether it's tsunamis or tornadoes, the Survivaball is designed to withstand. But the best part of the Survivaball is that people need people. And so our biggest inspiration for the way that a community should work with Survivaballs comes from biology. As some of you probably know, amoebas gather together and actually form another body. They aggregate. And so these one-celled organisms come together as a single body. For example, here's a raft formation of Survivaballs in the ocean, floating, communicating, exchanging nutrients, differentiating function. Last of all, this is literally thousands of Survivaballs dancing through the streets.
And we'll be happy to take any questions. So if there are any more technical ones for Northrop here or general ones. Yep.
I mean, in my mind, this clearly also plays right into terrorist attacks. What kind of defense mechanisms do you envision against biological, chemical, radiological attack?
If you could demonstrate the turtle position, please, that would be great. Basically, if you duck down...
I'll assume they'll have some kind of bubble mask or something.
Yeah, visor, heads-up display, the whole thing.
Very cool.
So.
To me, it was just the way it fit was probably if you're ever going to make them so people want to wear them for a long time, you have more cushioning or something.
Yeah. But I can imagine they'd be pretty darn expensive to make yours really market them.
Well, yeah.
Although I guess the people who need them, most of the price should be no object, right? And if you're getting them for, say, the
that's right.
cabinet, to pick up,
Hi. Northrop.
Gary, how are you? It's very interesting. One of the things that we're trying to do is modeling of terrorism around the world. So, this is clearly, something that plays right into that kind of an event.
Well, it does. That's it. It's supposed
much more so than, Katrina.
Yeah, well...
On a tout fait pour leur montrer l'aspect le plus abject de la cupidité.
Hello. Oh dear.
Mais au lieu de prendre peur, ils ont pris nos cartes de visite.
Hello. Wonderful, and if you want to take one of mine here.
Nos efforts n'ont servi à rien.
It's not very well articulated, really.
En fait, tous nos efforts se sont soldés par des échecs. Mais un yes man ne baisse jamais les bras. On peut réussir. Ce qu'il nous faut, c'est une nouvelle approche. Finalement, c'est peut-être une mauvaise idée de vouloir se moquer d'idées absurdes. Il faut qu'on soit plus malin que ça. Parce que ceux qui ont les idées les plus absurdes sont de sacrés petits malins. Pour Friedman et ses disciples, les catastrophes ne sont pas seulement l'occasion de s'enrichir. Elles sont aussi une façon de faire passer toutes sortes de mesures très impopulaires, comme les privatisations d'écoles, les fermetures d'hôpitaux publics ou les expulsions d'habitants indésirables. Voici la cité Lafitte, qui a été épargnée par Katrina. Une chance pour les milliers de résidents qui voulaient y revenir. Mais qu'a fait le gouvernement? Il a décidé de la démolir.
The disaster for us started after the storm. When people found out that you were going to be marooned in a strange foreign city, wanting to come home, and the government was going to take your home away.
This was hours before the storm. When storms happen everywhere else, people get a chance to go back home. This home to us. Why they going to take away our pride and joy? They don't know what people going through.
The whole city that sort of washed away. Now you got to rebuild the whole thing. So part of what this was is if you ever had an idea that you couldn't get through before the storm, well, the storm meant that everything was, tossed salad. So if this idea had been roundly rejected by the city and by voters and whatever, but now's your chance to sneak on in.
Lorsque les habitants ont voulu revenir chez eux après la tempête, ils en ont été empêchés par les services du ministère de l'Urbanisme et du Logement, le HUD.
The federal government came up with a program to dismantle public housing and privatize it. And that's what we're doing. And so you've got to develop a nice community so that the poor have an opportunity to live in an environment where people work, that they're part of the American dream. And you'll get a number of folks that are not used to the type of lifestyle that we all live, where trash is thrown on the ground or cursing off of the balcony.
And the idea really is to provide role models, essentially, for poor folks, right?
Absolutely.
Lors de notre interview à la BBC, nous avons essayé de montrer que les entreprises pouvaient se conduire différemment, mais qu'elles ne le faisaient pas car elles n'avaient aucun compte à rendre à l'État. Dans le cas de la Nouvelle-Orléans, qui a pourtant cruellement besoin d'aide, là encore, l'État s'en remet totalement au marché.
I believe in a market-driven process. Economics
capitalism is going to take over, and the marketplace is poised to respond.
Donc l'État ne croit pas en l'État. On sait désormais ce qu'il nous reste à faire. On va devenir l'État et voir ce qui se passe si on agit comme il faut.
We are preparing to go to the Gulf Coast Reconstruction Conference at the Pontchartrain Center in Kenner near the airport.
You shouldn't drive.
Okay.
Somebody else should drive.
So it's almost like we should be saying we are facing a state of emergency. I'm going to speak as HUD, as the Deputy Assistant of the Secretary of HUD, who couldn't make it, and CNN is going to be covering it live.
Cette conférence se tient 1 an jour pour jour après le passage de Katrina. Y assisteront le gouverneur de Louisiane et le maire de la Nouvelle-Orléans, les 2 poids lourds politiques de la région.
What's that?
Megan's coming there.
Oh my God.
Le public sera composé de promoteurs privés et d'entrepreneurs chargés de la reconstruction. Andy va se faire passer pour un représentant de HUD, et donc du gouvernement. Il va annoncer une mesure surprise qui risque de coûter très cher aux promoteurs immobiliers, et même d'en mettre certains au chômage.
Please join me in welcoming Mayor Ray Nagin of New Orleans. And please also join me in welcoming Renee Oswin, the Assistant Deputy Secretary of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
So it's an honor to share the stage with our 2 partners in recovery, with Renee Oswin representing HUD, who's definitely one of our most important partners in this rebuilding effort, and Mayor Nagin of New Orleans, whose challenges are enormous.
And I also want to stop and thank Renee, who's here from HUD. HUD has been an incredible, incredible partner with us. We are on the verge of doing some really unique things, some things that we could have never tackled in the city of New Orleans. And now we are poised and positioned to enhance public housing in the city of New Orleans. You know, there's lots of information out there. There's lots of misinformation out there. You know, but I have a fundamental belief that truth and lie cannot stay in the same place at the same time. Reminds me of a story I once heard. Truth and lie went swimming one day in Lake Pontchartrain. They went skinny dipping, so they laid their clothes on the banks, and they were out there having a really good time. And then lie all of a sudden jumped out the water, put Truth's clothes on, and started running down Esplanade, Elysian Fields Avenue. Truth got out the water, started running after lie. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you had was a well-dressed lie being chased by naked truth.
It's quite a tough act to follow, nothing like that to make you feel a bit naked, eh? Dear friends, it is with the greatest joy that I announce to you today a brand new Department of Housing and Urban Development. Everything is going to change about the way we work, and the change is going to start right here today in New Orleans. Until last week, our MO here at HUD was to tear down public housing whenever we could. Like many folks in Washington, we thought that the projects caused crime and unemployment. We were wrong. When we tore down St. Thomas and replaced it with mixed-income flats, only 1 of 27 former residents ever made it back, and the rest have faced many problems, in some cases even homelessness. It just didn't work. We won't make that error again. This afternoon, we will begin to reopen all public housing projects in New Orleans and allow these Americans to be part of their city once again. But opening doors won't be enough. As you know, the main reason New Orleans was so vulnerable to Katrina was the destruction of the wetlands. I am very, very, very pleased to announce that Exxon and Shell have agreed to finance wetlands rebuilding from part of the $60 billion in profits this year. As J. Stephen Simon, Exxon Vice President, writes, ExxonMobil is earmarking $8.6 billion from revenues our company has made in this region so as to assure that ExxonMobil never again has a hand in destroying a large American city. Ladies and gentlemen, we will rebuild not just New Orleans, we will rebuild the American dream. Please come join us at the Lafitte Housing Complex for a ribbon-cutting ceremony immediately after the plenary session. This is what we're all here for, so let's make it happen. Let's bring New Orleans back.
I thought it was very uplifting. This has been a big problem. A lot of people want to come home, and they have been unable to do so. So I thought it was a very positive message.
Well, very encouraging. And what's really encouraging in particular is not only getting people back home and helping them rebuild, but the recognition that we have to deal with Mother Nature, and that Exxon is going to make some significant contribution to restore wetlands. It's very encouraging.
C'est effectivement encourageant. Lorsqu'ils ont appris que le gouvernement allait prendre les bonnes mesures, mais qu'il risquait d'en pâtir, ils ont applaudi. Leur réaction prouve au moins une chose. Friedman avait tort. Il n'y a pas que la cupidité qui fait tourner le monde.
Hi, what's CBS Radio, WWL?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Cette fois, on a réussi. Du moins, c'est ce qu'on a cru.
The city and the state both say they've not heard anything about this. This announcement comes as a surprise to the governor's office and the mayor's office. Why would HUD do this without consulting the city and the state?
Well, we haven't done this without consulting with them.
You have no cards. You say you're new to the agency?
I have a card, but it's back at the office. I'll get it to you.
Where is your PR team?
I'm right here. Hi.
There.
Hi, you're with HUD?
Yes, I am.
Do you have a card?
There's an entire HUD housing project there left unfinished.
Yeah. There are some saying that this is a farce, that you're not truly with HUD, and that this is not an actual announcement.
Well, they can say whatever they want. Who are these people?
Where is your office?
In Washington.
Where in Washington?
He just joined the agency from France. He's
from France?
Yeah, he's been a special attaché to the Department of the Interior in France. Why are you so skeptical?
I just heard the speech, and I have a newscast very shortly. I need to confirm if it was a real speech from HUD or not. The governor and the mayor knew nothing of it. They were shocked. We desperately need to know if this is real or not. He's standing right here, the man who's just apparently committed this hoax on your department. Okay, I'm on the phone with HUD right now, and they say you're a liar.
Okay, well, they can say whatever they want.
I'm sorry?
They can say whatever they'd like.
They can say whatever they'd like, but you work for them, don't you, as a deputy secretary?
That's right.
Now that you've been discovered, do you want to explain to me why you did it? I mean, if you're trying to make a point, why don't you come over here and tell me why you did this? All right? All right, man. I'll call you in a few minutes. But it is a hoax, a massive hoax. You just pulled off a heck of a hoax.
Thank you. I would say that, HUD is pulling off a hoax by pretending that tearing down affordable housing is what's going to solve it. I mean, that's what they've been doing until now. This is a time when all of these people are clamoring to get back in. They want to get back into their housing, and they deserve to be there. It's crazy.
And worth lying to all these people.
Absolutely. Actually telling the truth. This is actually truth-telling where normally there would only be lies. How difficult would it be to remediate what you see here today and make it inhabitable, say, next week?
Just take off the covers here.
Oh, yeah, that's a good start, yeah?
Absolutely.
That's it.
Finally, we will be reopening public housing for the residents, for the workforce that's going to move back in and again rebuild New Orleans.
Sick, twisted, cruel. Those are all words used to describe the prank on Louisiana officials and about 1,000 contractors in New Orleans today.
I'm Deputy Assistant Secretary of the assistant, essentially, of Secretary Alphonso Jackson.
Renee Oswin can't get his title right or his relationship to HUD Secretary Alphonso Jackson. After taking the mayor for a ride, these contractors followed him to a makeshift ribbon cutting at the Lafitte Housing Project.
Mr. Oswin, you're not even on the directory of HUD. You're not even listed. You don't even have a phone number.
It's come to that, has it? It's come to that. Well, thanks for being the one to break the news.
Hano, the housing authority of New Orleans, says this is simply a cruel, cruel joke, trying to give people some kind of fake hope that they were going to be able to move back.
It is terribly sad that someone would perpetuate such a cruel hoax and play on the fears and anxieties of families who are desperate to return to their homes.
We just had it confirmed from HUD that he's not actually an employee of HUD. This is all a big hoax, this whole ceremony here, this whole press conference.
But I guess it's just to call their hand. It's just to call their hand. I respect this host because maybe it'll take a host like this to bring them out here to see what we going through. So it's a host what it be, a host is what we got. And I ain't mad. I'm going to eat me some barbecue.
And I think what you guys exposed is the fact that HUD could do these great things if they wanted to. Secondly, you got the attention of the residents, so now they're going to begin to ask, well, why aren't you doing these things? And number three, you're creating a controversy to feed off, to organize, and to build a struggle to the next level. So in my opinion, everything y'all did was excellent.
On n'aura donc pas fait tout ça pour rien. On nage dans le bonheur. Mais la réalité n'allait pas tarder à nous plomber. Certes, on a fait du bruit, mais on n'a pas rendu le monde meilleur pour autant. L'économie de marché est toujours en train de démolir la Nouvelle-Orléans. Partout aux États-Unis et dans le monde, des gens continuent à perdre leur logement. Personne ne fait rien concernant les changements climatiques. Et à Bhopal, la population continue à souffrir. Il faut vraiment qu'on arrive à faire changer le monde. Il se trouve que des millions d'Américains ont eu la même idée que nous.
Barack Obama. Barack Obama. Barack Obama.
Ce soir-là, on s'est senti pousser des ailes. On s'est dit que la victoire d'Obama allait peut-être nous libérer du culte du libéralisme économique.
A free market was never meant to be a free license to take whatever you can get, however you can get it.
Mais on sait que ce ne sera pas facile.
Wealth, money, privatization, wealth, money, free markets, privatization, ownership, a great deal of money. Now, we can afford that.
Vous vous souvenez d'eux? Ils sont toujours là et ils ne sont pas prêts de partir. Mais nous non plus.
The obvious question, how the heck did you do it? Andy, you want to start? How long were you working on this thing, and how many of you?
Well, there were a lot of us. It wasn't just the Yes Men. It was a large group of people. We were just one of many groups. It was an idea that sparked a lot of people's imaginations. They wanted to see this happen. And that's sort of the message of the paper as well, is that, great, we elected Obama, and that's fantastic, but now the real work begins.
The idea was to put out something that was optimistic, that says, we can do all these things. Why not? We created the system that we have now, so why not create a good one instead?
Notre plan est ambitieux. Une semaine après l'élection, 1 millier d'entre nous va inonder Manhattan de 100 000 exemplaires du New York Times. Mais un New York Times un peu particulier. Ce jour-là, un journal va nous propulser dans un avenir meilleur et nous aider à imaginer un autre monde possible.
Things have gotten pretty bad, and I think it's hard for people to imagine the world working another way. So we're trying to, as realistically as possible, present this world as it could be.
They just wrote out the proof of the New York Times, and it looks unfucking believable.
Really good.
So, here we are. This is the big day. 7 a.m. rush hour. This is the time to get the papers out there. Spread the good news.
Free New York Times. Free New York Times. Free New York Times.
Free New York Times. It's a Times special edition.
This is real. National Health Insurance Act passes.
The Patriot Act repealed.
This is too good to be true. But it's not impossible.
Maximum wage law succeeds. Good luck with that one.
It's a dream newspaper, right? It's like you wake up and all the things that you wanted became the news.
Extra, extra, read all about it. The New York Times declares the war in Iraq is over. But wait a second, this paper is dated July 4th, 2009.
We printed a paper with the headlines that we'd like to see. So if these are the headlines that people were so excited to read this morning, let's make them happen.
I think we're gonna make things happen, change the world.
We either need to join up with community organizations that exist, and there's lots of them, or create our own community organizations.
Think of the different ways that we can contribute to a movement that says business as usual is unacceptable. It's unacceptable because people are being hurt, and we're not going to play the role, the subservient, routine role that we usually play.
I think we have to exercise some muscles we either don't have or that have atrophied, or something, a civic muscle, a thrifty muscle, a generous muscle.
Join an organization, make change happen, put your effort on the line to make something happen. And that's what kind of we did here, and, maybe it's what, it's kind of, oh boy.
No, I know, yeah. And if a few people at the top can make the bad news happen, then why can't all of us at the bottom get together and make the good news happen for a change? I mean, for real.
God, do you think we fixed the world?
No. What, are you kidding? The movie's only been an hour and a half. We couldn't expect to fix the world in an hour and a half.